Today we're working on this cake drawing and we're going to be using charcoal. And I'm going to be using Joanne tinted charcoal, and it comes in a variety of different colors. You can see here that I have lavender, which is more of a brownish color in my opinion. This one is called burnt orange. This is a 6-pack that I had bought. Ocean Deep, Natural, Forest Pine, and Peat. Now, I'm not sure if I'm going to actually use forest pine in a cake, but I thought these would be a fun set of pencils to use for today's drawing. So let's turn to the drawing page for today. And we're working on, here it is, Cake with Charcoal. I am going to put my book in the horizontal position, and I have my cake over to the left because I ripped it out of the book for today's demonstration purposes. I'm going to start out with this Ocean Deep color, and this take a look at this cake. It has a lot of ellipses, so let me just flip back to our warm-up exercise, warm-up sketching exercise page, and you can see that you've got kind of layers of this ellipses. So we're going to start, here would be the top. So we've just got that ellipse there, and we're going to just come down, give it the sides, mimic it again at the top, draw this one parallel to it, and then you've got like the inside section there. Again, this kind of, it looks like the top of a jar in a way. This kind of comes down. So we're just taking these layers. So you've got cake, you've got whipped cream, you've got cake, you've got whipped cream. But they all are divided into sections. So what you don't see back here is what is here. So that is what is back there. So we're not seeing that. So each one, it just keeps coming down, 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 down. Okay? So that's what we want to really be concerned about, is being able to create those sections. And we're just going to see what happens with different colors that I have. We'll have some fun with it. All right, so we've got Cake with Charcoal, and let's bring up, I'm going to actually use this lavender color. It's a little bit lighter to just kind of sketch it out. So the first thing I'm going to do is kind of sketch out what I need to, the whole thing, so I can just kind of get my bearings on where I want it to be. And, you know, sometimes the unfinished line speaks volumes. You know, sometimes it, you don't need to finish the line in order to kind of see what's happening with whatever you're drawing. So we've got this, this gives the illusion or the indication that this comes around like this. And here is where I'm going to start my whipped cream at the top. I'm going to get my sides of my cake, and they're probably about, I guess they're about like that, right? But I'm not going to complete the line because I want, like you can see up here that this is kind of, it's a little bit darker. So here's the line there. Then this next layer becomes the inside of the cake with the whipped cream. So it almost, it's not even with the outside of the cake layer. It kind of almost comes at an angle. So there's that whipped cream, that whipped cream layer. You got some strawberries in there. You got another strawberry right here, I guess. Kind of another one hiding. Here's another one. And now we've got the next layer. And the next layer is a little bit further out than that whipped cream, because then how else would it hold it if it wasn't, right? But it also kind of has a little bit of a line here that you can kind of see, because in this is going to be a little bit darker. But as it comes around here, kind of give it a little bit of a hook. So you want to kind of make it go like this and then kind of a hook, so that it's going to look like it's hugging it, hugging the cake. And it looks like it's going around. So it's like this would be back there. So there is my next section of the layer of cake. Now the next one is really just whipped cream. But again, it kind of like looks like it's hugging it. So you're going to come like around like that. We don't see the next section because we've got that strawberry in the middle there. Or, I'm sorry, in front of it there. But we're going to come back around because we know that cake is got a bottom to it. And it's much straighter on the bottom. But it really kind of like, we know that back here, it's hugging it. We're not going to see that though because the strawberry is going to be in there. And again here. Okay, so that's kind of my basic sketch. So now we've got this strawberry that's here. And we kind of can start out with a little circle in the middle here, which represents the circle that's there. Kind of another circle back there, and that'll kind of give it like a perspective of it's going back. Here's another one. Here's the middle of where those, the leaves are. Here's the leaves. Wow, they're big, aren't they? You don't really see the strawberry as much, but you do see those leaves. And we'll put a little table back there so it doesn't look like it's floating in the middle of the air. And then over here in this corner, we do not see that corner, right? So we kind of want to be like right in here. So we're going to start out with this strawberry here that's kind of parallel to what is going on over here with the kind of the front of the table. So let's just kind of put our, there's that shape we've got going on there. So there's the shape of that strawberry. Don't forget, we're going to get rid of this. And then we've got our leaves. That are not completely head on, but instead they're flat. And then we've got this other guy here. And we can kind of see the leaves. Indication of leaves up there. And then we'll kind of do like a little bit of a table right there. And then up here, we kind of have all of these strawberries up here. Of course, we got to kind of put some strawberries in here too. Here's another strawberry. We've got this whipped cream up top. And then here we have kind of a slice of a strawberry going kind of like towards the back. Another one that's kind of hanging out. Here's another one here. Another one here. It's kind of the mound of it. This is another one that's down here in the midst of all of it. Of course, we have this one that's kind of tucked in. I guess there's another one back here. Kind of light, but it's back there. And we have another one that is kind of like further back than this one. So let's make this one like this. And this one is kind of like this. And it kind of comes out like that. So we want that to be like that. All right, let me just grab my kneaded eraser. And we want to take away some of the lines that we don't need. So the first thing I'm going to do is take away this line here. So that we can see inside there of what's happening. And then I'm going to take away this line here that we used to form this. Because we want to have kind of the impression that that's there. But we don't want to really see it. Because when you look at the bottom of that strawberry, it doesn't really have a circle on it. But it gives you the impression that there's a circle there. So now we can go back in and kind of fill in. Now, I think I might use this natural color, or it's called natural. I keep thinking it's called neutral. And for this section here, we want to concern ourselves with the lights and the darks that are created in this as far as where that cake is versus where the whipped cream is. So I'm going to leave the whipped cream part uncolored completely and just kind of give it a little bit of a kind of an unfinished line there, especially as we get back over here towards the cake part, because it has a lot of nooks and crannies in it. I guess this is angel food cake. My favorite kind of cake is strawberry shortcake. Of course, whipped cream is a staple, you know. Can never have enough too much whipped cream. You didn't think we were going to do this drawing without a conversation about food, right? So now when you take a look at this, this is very straight, isn't it? That piece of cake, that's a very straight, sharp line in a way. And I'm just going to kind of put this pencil on the edge, just to kind of fill in the cake. And I want that texture because it really kind of gives the illusion of cake, or the impression that there's cake there. But really kind of filling in with these darker lines. And here's one that's really a dark section right there. We've got our frosting, or our whipped cream here. Dark at the corner, dark underneath it, but again, keeping it white. So here's our strawberry. This kind of goes back. So I'm going to keep this completely white where my whipped cream is. We've got this other strawberry that's kind of sneaking through and peeking through, and here's another dark section here. Here's that darker area. We've got our whipped cream. Here's another portion here that's a little bit darker. So it kind of gives the illusion that it's the underside of it. And this is coming up here. So this is a really good example of just completely draw what you see. I mean, exactly what you see. And then it'll just all come together. So I'm just drawing exactly what I'm seeing. I'm seeing this little nook and cranny right here. I'm seeing maybe a darker section there. And then I'm going to go back in also and kind of take out a little bit of this by just kind of pushing down with my kneaded eraser, because I want it to look more like cake. And as far as the, just kind of give it a little bit of a brush off there. As far as the actual whipped cream, again, we're keeping it white by not adding any color at all. So now I'm on my next layer. Sorry about that. So now I'm on my next layer of, that kind of made me jump. How about you? Next layer of cake. Kind of reminds me of a cheeseburger too. You know? Same concept. Here's a really dark section right there. And here. And then as I come down here, I'm going to give it an unfinished line. And then fill in a little bit of a darker area kind of in the middle. See how it's kind of darker there and it's darker here. So it kind of looks like cake at that point, right? here's another strawberry. There's 3 more strawberries on this next layer. So we are going to fill that in. But notice the strawberry it's got kind of a darker ridge, and then as it goes into the middle, it looks a little lighter. And here's kind of the underside of the whipped cream. Some of this whipped cream at the bottom section does look like it has a little bit of a shadow, just like I did there. But it's just really kind of a, it's not really that much of a shadow. You know, it's not too dark. This is very dark at the bottom. So this would probably be the darkest. So give it a good line back underneath there. You're coming up besides here. We kind of want this, we want it to blend a little bit, but we also want to make sure that we kind of have that difference between the dark and the light on here. Here's another darker area there. That kind of comes up into a little bit of a point right there. Kind of a little bit of a dark area there. I'm going to go back with my kneaded eraser a little bit and just kind of take away a little bit from my middle section and my bottom. And now I'm going to just kind of give the illusion of these leaves, because we don't want them to really completely be outlined, but at the same time, we want to know where the end is. We want to know where the beginning is. We want to know where that vein is inside the line. This is kind of coming around. Give it all little specks for those to represent the little seeds. This one is coming around on this side and it's dark, but then it gets to this side and it's light. But this line here is the line that's behind it. See that? We've got a little bit of a dark corner there. Again, we're going to get rid of this little line right here. An unfinished line there. Kind of give it a little bit of a shadow down here, a little bit of a, to the underside of it. Kind of just tap this a little bit to just kind of give it a softness, I guess, right? We want to see that darkness right here. We want to see this dark area. We want to see the underside of the strawberry as it comes up. And gets lighter as we go up to the top. And there's almost like a very light spot right there. And we can kind of put in our leaves. Notice I'm not blending this at all. I'm not adding anything to it as far as like adding any more shadows to it by blending it with like my fingers or any type of, and I'm just going to leave it like that. I'm just going to kind of only use the pencil. Now see how this line, the pencil to shade it. See how this line looks a little harsh? If I just kind of tap on that a little bit, it'll kind of soften it. But I want that to kind of transition up there. So So now we've got these little lines here, which are the leaves. They're very light. This is darker over here, so we want to kind of make it, first we've got to give this a little bit of, you know, a strawberryness. This one too. Kind of give the impression that it's a strawberry. All its strawberryness. And then here, I do want to kind of put a little bit of a shadow here on the whipped cream, because I'm kind of noticing that there is a little bit of a shadow. So it just kind of has some different crevices. See how we did that up here also? But pretty much leaving it white where it is. Now, let's go back up here to our berries. Doing the same thing that we kind of did to the bottom berries on the bottom. Look, notice the center of that strawberry just kind of white. Again here, see how it's kind of a white center? So we just want to take away a little bit. Here's our kind of going in the back, so we've got to go around. So if you take a look at the strawberry, see how the top goes like that? It kind of goes into this shape like here. If you just keep doing this and then almost kind of connect it, it will also it'll also give the impression that there's a strawberry there. This one's very light. And then this guy is kind of a yeah, there it is. A slice maybe? Is that what it is? A slice? Gonna get rid of my stuff over here. And then I'm gonna take this lighter one, which is called Burnt Orange. And just to kind of give it a contrast, I'm just going to do my background with this. This would have been good for the cake, actually. Don't forget, I'm still just using the paper that's in this book. Kind of want it to be a little bit darker in the background, and then it'll make the cake look like it's popping out. But I want to transition it. See right here too? And I'm kind of using my pencil on its side. And then let's have more fun with our colors here. And this one is called Forest Pine. So I'm going to go back in. It kind of reminds me of when they take away color from something and they kind of like fade it out. So this will become the shadow underneath. Get rid of all of that. See how we did. How did you do? What do you think? I'm going to get rid of a few more pieces of charcoal here. Pieces. Do I want to call them pieces? I don't know. I do need to add, what color was I using? Here it is, natural. I'm going to add some specks to give it a strawberryness. Feels like there should be like a little bit of a shadow right there. See that part right there? And then maybe over here. that's complete. So again, these are the pencils that I used today. These are these drawing pencils. It's this set of 6. And I just used a kneaded eraser for it. So, any questions about this? Just let me know in the comments. And other than that, have a great day. Hey, great job today.